Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. On today's episode, let me show you how to create shared family calendars with iCloud. So iCloud allows you to create calendars that you can then share with others with a separate iCloud account. And it's a great way for families to keep a calendar with events and appointments and things that they can all see. And it's really easy to do. Everybody has their own iCloud account. And all you need to do in the Calendars app on your Mac is create a new calendar in iCloud. Call it what you want. So let's call it Family Shared. And then click here the little sharing icon to set sharing things. So here you can add the name or email address. The name would come from your contacts. So you can use the email address to make it simpler of anybody that's got an iCloud account. And then add them all in here and they'll all then be subscribed to this calendar. And they can not only view it, but they can add events as well. This allows a family to put all their different events on there and everybody can view this one calendar then, which shows those events. Not only that, but you get notifications when somebody adds an event to the calendar. So instead of doing something, say you book a flight for a family vacation, you can add it to the calendar and everybody gets a notification that that event has been added and they can view all the details. They don't have to keep bugging you for what's the flight number or when do we leave, things like that. Not only that, but since it's on iCloud, of course, it's on all their devices. So, for instance, you and your spouse could look at it on your Macs and your iPhones and your iPads. And if your kids have iPhones as well, they can view it on the iPhones. So anybody with an iOS device can view and edit this shared calendar. So you can control click on the calendar here, get info, and add a description as well. There's no reason you can't have multiple calendars. For instance, you can have calendars for your family for travel plans or for school schedules, things like that. You could also have calendars that cover different family members. So for instance, you can have one for an extended family, one for only local family. You can have a calendar that's just for events for your kids, say, and leaves out the stuff for the other family members. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can even ignore alerts if, say, you decide to create a calendar that doesn't have important events that everybody needs to be notified when they're added. In addition, you can easily add more at any time by clicking here and just adding there. Not only could you do this on Macs and iOS, but you can also do this at iCloud.com as well. You can log on. So even if you don't happen to have an Apple device on you can still check your family shared calendar. Now this shared iCloud calendar I've created is different than the one that you automatically get. If you go to System Preferences, go into iCloud, and if you decide to use the family sharing, that's a system where you can basically have one credit card and one master account that pays for purchases on other Apple IDs. And this is great for families and it does lots of different things, and one of the small things it does is create a family calendar that's automatically shared between everybody, and you can't remove it. You can hide it but you can't remove it, and it's set. I don't like using that one in particular because you don't have as much control. For instance, you couldn't add a family member that's not part of that paid sharing plan, and you also couldn't add other people and add various ones for, say, as I said, like school schedules or vacations or different things like that. So I like creating my own instead of using that default one that's created when you use family sharing. Now, what if somebody in your family doesn't have Apple hardware? They have an Android phone or a Windows PC. Well, they could still access this through iCloud.com. But you may want to go with a cross-platform calendar solution instead. For instance, you could just use your Gmail account, use a Google Calendar associated with your Gmail account there. You have that automatically. But you can easily add a new calendar, and when you add that calendar you can then share it with people. So it's the same kind of thing. You want to go and do that. I found the easiest way to do it is through the website. So you want to go and do that through Google Calendar, and once you've added it, then you can go to System Preferences and add your Google account as an internet account. Even if you're not going to use it as mail, you can have mail unchecked here so you're not receiving your Gmail through the mail app. You can have calendars turned on, and I'm going to turn on calendars there. It could be the only thing that you have turned on for the account if you wish. Once you do that and you go to the calendar app, you could see you've got your iCloud calendars and I've got my Google calendars, including this family shared calendar. So it's kind of the steps are you do it first on the web and add people to it, and then people can then get that on their calendar here in the calendar app. You can add and edit events here on the calendar app and they'll be reflected on the web and vice versa. It's pretty easy. If you go to preferences inside a calendar, you can see you've got your iCloud account and you've got your Google account there, and you could set up various preferences for it there. So it works just as well if you use a non-iCloud service with the calendar app and the calendar apps on your devices. Of course, you're going to have to go and add these Google Calendars as well to your iOS devices by going to the preferences there and adding that Google account.